everyone. My name is Naldris Titi Nahora and I am your teacher of the day. But before we start our lesson, let us have our prayer first. Let us sign of the cross in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Dear God, bless us in our lesson today. Help us grow in love and kindness more like Jesus every day. Amen. So now let us have some review on what is our topic yesterday. So anyone who can recall? Yes, thank you. It is all about the anatomy of the nose, which it is the prominent structure between the eyes that serves as the entrance to the respiratory tract and contains the olfactory organ. So now let us move forward, in which you need to guess what is on the picture. So what do you think it is? Yes, very good. It is an eyeball. So when you hear the word eyeball, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Yes, thank you. It is part of an eye. So, our topic for today is all about the eye structure and its function. For our learning objectives, at the end of the lesson, the students are expected to identify components that make up the eye, discuss how parts of the eye work together to provide vision, and lastly, draw and label the structure of the eye. So now you close your eyes and imagine a world without sight. So what would the world be like without sight? What would you miss seeing? What are some things that sight allows us to do? So anyone who can give their insights or opinions? Very good. Without our eyes, the world as we each knew it would seem like a very different place. Although our eyes are small, they each have different parts that work together to allow each of us to see. So what you can see is the human eye. So eyes are one of the most important organs of the body. So a healthy pair of eyes means a clear vision, which plays a major role in day-to-day life and quality of experiences. So humans have binocular vision, meaning that both the eyes create a single combined image. So optical components create an image which further gets perceived and interpreted by the brain via connecting neurons. So the entire machinery works in quite an intricate manner. The accessory organ and eye protection. So orbal cavities. The orbit is the bony cavity in the skull that houses the globe of the eye or the eyeball. It is the muscles that move the eye or the extraocular muscles. So the cavity that surrounds and provides mechanical protection for the eye and soft tissue structure related to it. So adipose tissue. The adipose body of the orbit or the ABO fills most of the orbital cavity surrounding the eyeball, muscles, nerve, and vessels. When we say lacrimal gland, it is a gland located within the orbit above the lateral end of the eye, and it continually releases fluid which cleanses and protects the eye surface as it lubricates and moistens it. So these lacrimal secretions are commonly known as tears. So let us go to the eyebrows. It is the ridge over the eye or the hair growing, usually in a line or arch in the skin over it. So eyebrows can also reduce the amount of light that gets into your eye and keep dirt away from them too. So when we say eyelids, it is the movable folds of skin and muscle that can be closed over the eyeball. It is a shields and protects the eyeball from mechanical injury and helps to provide the moist chamber essential for the normal functioning of the conjunctiva and cornea. So, the eyelashes are a first line of defense for your eyes, keeping airborne dirt, dust, lint, and other debris from reaching the delicate eye tissues. As go to the muscle of the eye. So it composed of two, which is the extrinsic muscle and the intrinsic muscle. So when we say extrinsic muscle, the eye is moved by 6 extraocular muscles. It is also known as extrinsic eye muscle. So these muscles originate from the bones of the orbit and insert into the surface of the eyeball. So these are attached to the outside of the eyeball and enable the eyes to move in all directions of sight. So there are 6 muscles that are present in the orbit or the eye socket that attach to the eye to move it. So when we say the intrinsic muscles of the eye, it is the muscles that control the movements of the lens and pupil and thus participate in the accommodation of vision. So in short, extrinsic eye muscles move the eyeball in relation to the rest of the body, whereas intrinsic muscles move structures within the eyeball. Three layers of the eye. It is composed of the sclera. It is the white layer of the eye that covers most of the outside of the eyeball. It is the supporting wall of the eyeball that helps maintain your eyeball shape and protects it from injury. So, sclera is composed of the cornea, in which it is the transparent part of the eye that covers the iris and the pupil and allows light to enter the inside. It acts as the eye's outermost lens, and its function is like a window that controls and focuses the entry of light into the eye. So, when we say canals of Schlemm, it is a circular canal found within the posterior part of the corneoscular junction. So its function is to collect the aqueous humor from the anterior chamber of the eyeball and deliver it to the veins of the eyeball. On the other hand, conjunctiva is the mucous membrane that lines the inner surface of the eyelids and is continued over the forepart of the eyeball. So, it provides protection and lubrication of the eye by the production of mucus and tears. The second layer of the eye is the choroid layer, in which a thin layer of tissue that is a part of the middle layer of the wall of the eye. So, it is between the sclera and the retina. It supplies the outer retina with nutrients and maintains the temperature and volume of the eye. So, it composed of the ciliary body, which is a part of the choroid layer that are found behind the iris and includes the ring-shaped muscles that changes the shape of the lens when the eye focuses. So it also makes the clear fluid that fills the space between the cornea and the iris. So when we say iris, it is the colored part of the eye. So the muscles in your iris control your pupil. So it is the small black opening that lets light into your eye. So the color of your iris is like your fingerprint. It's unique to you and nobody else in the world has the exact same colored eye. So the round opening in the center of the iris, the colored tissue that makes the eye color at the front of the eye. So the pupil changes size to let light into the eye, and it gets smaller in bright light and larger as the amount of light decreases. So let us go to retina. It is the innermost layer, in which it is at the very back of the eye. So the retina holds millions of cells that are sensitive to light. So it takes the light of the eye that receives and changes it into nerve signals so the brain can understand what the eye is seeing. The eye part is composed of two, which is the rods and the cones. So when we say rods, it is a type of photoreceptor cell in the retina. They are sensitive to light levels and help us give vision in low light. So they are concentrated in the outer areas of the retina and give us peripheral vision. And also, rods are 500 to 1,000 times more sensitive to light than cones. So when we say cones, it requires a lot of light and they are used to see color. So we have three types of cones, which is the blue, the green, and the red. So the human eye only has about 6 million cones, and many of these pack into the fovea. It is a small pit in the back of the eye that helps with the sharpness or detail of images. The thing that you should always remember is that rods are responsible for vision at low light levels or scotopic vision, whereas the cones are responsible for vision at higher light levels or photopic vision. Fovea centralis. It is a tiny pit located in the macula of the retina that provides the clearest vision of all. So, it contains a high density of retinal cones. The fovea provides high acuity vision due to the high acuity or sharpness of vision that cones provide. So, when we say optic disc, it is a circular area in the back of the inside of the eye where the optic nerve connects to the retina. It is also called the optic nerve head. There are no light-sensitive rods or cones to respond to a light stimulus at this point because this causes a break in the visual field called the blind spot or the physiological blind spot. So now let us proceed to lens. It is a clear disc that focuses light as in a camera or a microscope. When you say lens, it is clear curved structure at the front of the eye behind the pupil. So it focuses light rays that enter the eye through the pupil, so making an image on the retina or light-sensitive layers of nerve tissue at the back of the eye. So when we say suspensory ligament, this ligament is responsible for maintaining and supporting the position of the eyeball in its normal upward and forward position within the orbit and prevents downward displacement of the eyeball. So now let us proceed to the fluid of the eye, in which it is composed of two: the aqueous humor and the vitreous humor. So when we say aqueous humor, it is a thin transparent fluid similar to plasma. So it is made up of 99.9% water and the other is 0.1% consists of sugars, vitamins, proteins, and other nutrients. So this fluid nourishes the cornea and the lens, and it gives the eyes its shape. So when we say the vitreous humor, it is a transparent gelatinous mass whose main constituent is water. So it plays an important role in providing metabolic nutrient requirements of the lens, coordinating eye growth and providing support to the retina. So always remember that when you say aqueous humor, it is a water-like fluid that lies in front of the lens, and when you say vitreous humor, is a gel-like substance that lies behind the lens and in front of the retina. Eyes are very important that we must protect and take good care, because without our eyes, we cannot see how beautiful the world could be. So any questions and clarifications? Okay, none. And now let us proceed to our activity, which is entitled Think, Pair, and Share. I will let you choose your partners, and you need to think and share for your ideas for you to be able to answer the crossword puzzle. And I will give you 2 minutes to answer. So your time starts now. Okay, are you all done? So now let us move to our quiz, in which for you to be able to answer, you need to click the link and follow the instruction. For this, you are given 2 minutes to answer. So your time starts now. Okay, are you all done? Okay, and for your assignment, I will let you draw your eyes and label it. Before we will end our discussion, let me give you this quote. So the eyes are the windows to the soul. They don't lie, they show the truth no matter what face you put on. So there are plenty of beautiful things to see in this world, and yet many of us never stop to truly look at the world. The eyes can also reveal whether a smile is genuine or fake, whether someone trusts you, whether they feel secure, and much more. The eyes are windows to the soul because they are the most honest part of the face. For example, we can control our mouths, but we don't control our eyes. When you're truly happy, your eyes become bigger and brighter involuntarily and give you away. But they look smaller when you're sad and worried. The eye plays an integral part in our lives. They do not only allow us to see the beauty of our world, but they are the beginning of doing more. That's all for today. Thank you and God bless.